This is James Lutton for Round 8 Boxing. Delighted to join with Caoimhin Agyarko. Caoimhin, congratulations. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad. Just healing up, taking a couple of days off.
The eye seems to be going down a little bit. Talk to me about that during the fight, dealing with that sort of injury.
Yeah, obviously, it wasn't great. Obviously, I couldn't see and stuff, but it's part of the game. Do you know what I mean? It's things that you have to deal with in there. I just during the fight, I had no complaints in terms of my eye going back to the corner and stuff. It's one of them things you have to just get on with, and I knew I could partly see for it that the referee and doctor wouldn't stop the fight, but yeah, I think it was a thumb in the eye, and then we were clashing heads, and the reason it got so big was because I kept blowing my nose when I shouldn't have been. Obviously with the pressure and stuff. Anyone knows that if you get a small welt under the eye or anything like that, and you blow your nose, your eye will just pop straight away. And yeah, I kept blowing my nose, which Swifty wasn't happy about. But listen, like I said, it's one of them things. It's part of the game. Obviously, you don't want to be coming out with too many cuts and bruises and stuff like that. But it happened, and yeah, I felt like I dealt with the injury well in the fight, considering it was such a high paced fight, and there was a lot of talk of people saying that I don't have the heart, I don't have the balls, and whatever else. And if that fight doesn't show and prove everybody wrong, then I'm not sure what will.
Just how much could you see out of that eye?
Um, Very little from round 7 8 on. It was near enough closed. When the doctor asked me to follow his finger, I could see his finger, but I like had to try and open my eyes wide enough so that he wouldn't stop the fight. But yeah, like I said, it's part of the game.
Absolutely. And I suppose as well, experience to take from that into future fights if it happens again.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've dealt with that in my last fight. I dealt with a cut. In this fight, I dealt with an eye being closed and having to still fight 5 6 rounds with that injury. But I think I showed a lot about myself, proved a lot of people wrong, and it was just good to get a win. And it was a great fight. It was a close fight. It was back and forth, and it lived up to the hype.
Absolutely. Talk to me about going into the fight as the underdog. I was quite surprised that the bookies had you as the underdog. What did you make of it?
I don't focus on too many things like that. I do believe it was a 50-50 fight going into the fight in terms of, listen, Ismail Davis is a good fighter. I didn't believe he had the experience in terms of, like I was saying about the amateur experience, that helped me get through the fight, being able to box, being able to fight, being able to um, spoil a bit and just use all the experience that I've gained over the years. And um, yeah, being underdog. I was near enough underdog against Troy Williamson. I've been an underdog a lot of times in my life, away from professional boxing and the amateurs in my personal life. So there's something about keeping a Jocko that loves proving people wrong, and I love being the underdog. I love people doubting me, and questioning me because I believe in myself. My team believes in me, and I know how good I am. And listen, it was a tough fight on Saturday, but I'm way better than that. I know I showed a lot, and people loved the performance and whatever else. It was a close fight, but um, I'm a lot better than that, and I just think that was the first step in showing people what I have and what I can bring to the table. But when it all comes together, you'll see a bit better Caoimhin Agyarko.
You said that you know how good you are, and those around you know how good you are. Does it surprise you that you are the underdog over and over again?
Um, I do because I feel like I've proved people wrong time and time again, so I don't get why they feel the need to continue to question me or doubt me. But that's boxing, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to cry because somebody's got an opinion that they don't believe in me or don't think I'm as good as what they've seen or whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Sometimes I feel like um, it's unjustified, but that's the game. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got an opinion, and I don't. You know me, James. I don't take things personal in this sport. It's strictly business. Like I said before that fight and every other fight that I've been in, that people's question me or try to get under my skin or doubt me or whatnot. It's never personal. I understand the sport of boxing, and um, it's my job to go and prove everybody wrong, and I get a high off that. I get a high off being able to believe in myself. I train extremely hard, and I've got the right team around me, and I know that I'm a world class fighter. So people can doubt me. People can continue to make me the underdog, and I'll continue to prove them wrong.
Do you think it shows the power of the home fighter, the promoted fighter as such? The fact that you've obviously gone in without a promoter as such, and you've been the away fighter and the underdog against fighters who are good fighters, but they're not top level fighters.
Yeah, I do. I think it does. It shows the power of the promoters. And listen, that's just boxing. And if a promoter's backing a fighter, a big promoter, say for instance, in my last fight, Eddie Hearn, he's a massive promoter. If he's backing a fighter like Ismail Davis, there's going to be some sort of hype around Ismail. Do you know what I mean? And people are going to believe in Ismail and believe Eddie's opinion of why he signed him and stuff like that, and why he believes in him. So yeah, I do. I think the promoters backing has a massive help in kind of benefits to the home fighter.
Take me back to the ring walk. Cranberries kicks in, the crowd, the noise starts going off in Ireland. What's that like for you walking down there? You know you've got a job to do. I mean, every fight now is the biggest fight of your career. But what's that like to experience that Irish crowd when your ring walk's going on?
It's amazing. It's honestly like it's a pinch me moment whenever I'm standing on stage ready to walk. Do you know what I mean? And I think I was a bit too relaxed. I was hoping that I was going to be nervous because I'm not a nervous fighter. I think we've seen before in previous fights. I start slow because I'm too relaxed, too comfortable, and I normally go through situations in my head to try and make me nervous. And I'd say that as soon as I walk out the 20,000, I'm going to be shitting myself. And I wasn't. I was a bit too relaxed and too comfortable. I was enjoying the moment. I was embracing it. I was, do you know what I mean? These opportunities don't come around often. So I wanted to make the most of it. And yeah, it was amazing to receive the support that I did in my home city. Literally, Windsor Park's a 5 minute drive away from my house. Do you know what I mean? So it was a surreal moment for me. It was a moment that will live with me for the rest of my life. I've watched the ring walk 10, 15 times now, and it's just it gives me goosebumps every time. And it's amazing because I'm just a regular kid from Belfast, from West Belfast, trying to achieve my dreams, and um, to have the support that I do, it's unbelievable because I'm nobody special. I mean, I believe my talent is special, but I'm just a regular person, and um, for somebody like me to receive the support that I do, it's unbelievable, and I'll forever be grateful and thankful for the Irish fans because they're truly amazing. They are the best fighting fans in the world. They support their own, whether it's um some kid on the block making their debut or somebody who's fighting for a world title. They treat them all the same, and um yeah, it's a great city.
For you now, highly ranked. Obviously, world titles is the ambition, is the target. The last time we spoke, you was looking at, you wanted the European title fight. You're a very realistic fighter in terms of the next step. After that victory, what is the next step for you, Kevin?
Um, I would still like to go for the European if the opportunity presents itself. But like you say, I'm world ranked. The target and the goal is to become a world champion, and I think I've put myself in a great position now with the WBA. Crawford winning on the weekend means he has to vacate the WBA title at my weight, and I think Abbas Barou's been made the full champion now. I'm hearing that Boots Ennis might be mandatory for the WBA after his fight. So listen, if him and Abbas fight, maybe I'll have a one more fight and try and keep my ranking and move up in the rankings or fight for a European title. I'll just have to sit down with my team and see what they think that is best and what they want next for me. Do you know what I mean? It's funny because I always say I'm a fighting man. I'll fight anybody, and I think people portray me to be this guy that turns down fights and doesn't want to be tested and doesn't want to be in the big fights, and it doesn't really make sense. What am I doing in boxing? Am I wasting my time? Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't take big fights, if I don't um, push myself, test myself, I'm never going to progress in the sport. So whenever people are firing accusations at me that I turn down fights and that I'm scared to fight certain fighters, it's just nonsense because it would make no sense for me to be boxing. Do you know what I mean? I'm an ambitious fighter. I've always been ambitious. I've always reached for the highest that I could possibly reach for in the amateurs and professionals. Do you know what I mean? And um, I want to be in the big fights. I want to prove my worth, and I want to prove to people that I can become a world champion because I truly, truly believe that I have the ability and the talent and the work ethic to do so.
Absolutely. And you mentioned in there Abbas Baru, he was the former European champion, and you sort of set your sights on that fight when he was the European champion. Does that fight make the most sense for you? I know he's now world champion, but obviously based in the UK as well. It's got that almost domestic feel to it whilst being a world level fight.
Yeah, it's a fight that I would love. Bass a great fighter. We've sparred before. He's doing unbelievable. Obviously, he was underdog against Tellez, and he put on a spectacular performance to beat him. And now he's world champion. Props to him, fair play to him. But anybody that's ranked above me or anybody that has the titles who I'm chasing, do you know what I mean? So I'd love a fight with Bosper. It'd be a great fight. I think people seeing that side of me in my last fight and his fighting style would agree that our styles would clash. But listen, I don't know what if he has to if Boots Ennis is going to be mandatory for his title or what way I'm left in the rankings right now after that win. So, like I said, I'll just have to sit down with my team and see what they think's best. And if I have to beat one or two more fighters to get to a world title, then I'll do that.
How exciting is the prospect of a Boots Ennis fight for you? And this is a guy who is at the top of the game. How exciting would that be for you to fight Boots Ennis in America for the world title?
Yeah, it'd be unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It's a fight that I know I'd be up against it. But everybody's beatable. He's an unbelievable fighter. He's slowly creeping into one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, and we've seen him at welterweight. Do you know what I mean? I think he was a unified champion, and he's a special talent, no doubt about it. But I'm in boxing to fight the best and prove to myself and prove to everybody else that that's where I belong. So a fight with Boots Ennis would be unbelievable for me. Do you know what I mean? To fight for world title potentially in America would be surreal.
Maybe then you might feel a few nerves before the fight.
Maybe so. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had any nerves in a fight. Very long time, but yeah, I need to work on that.
Absolutely. Keeping perfect. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it as always.
No worries at all, James. Thanks for having me.